What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So we got a super duper leaked statement from Conor Benn in reaction to his officially cancelled fight against Chris Eubank Jr. He says, "I am truly gutted that we were unable to make this fight happen on Saturday, and I'm sorry to everyone who has been affected by my postponement, by the juicement. Yeah, listen, end of the day, man. Conor Benn said, I'm sorry to everyone who has been affected by my juiceponement. I am still completely shocked and surprised by this, and it has been a tough couple of days. My team and I will consider the next options, including rescheduling the fight, but my immediate focus is on clearing my name, because I am not juiced out of my bonnet. I'm not juiced out of my bonnet and fake looking ass beard." That's what he said, 100%. Yeah, there's also another statement here, another leak. Yeah, listen, end of the day, man, you man ain't seen this one. It's a leaked one, 100%. After discussions with various parties, we have taken the decision to formally postpone the squabble between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It is undeniable that the BOC decision to withdraw their sanctioning was procedurally flawed and without due process. That remains a legal issue between the promoters and the board, which we intend to pursue. However, whilst there are legal routes to facilitate the fight still taking place as planned, we do not believe that it is in the fighters' interests for those to be pursued at such a late stage, or in the wider interests of the sport. As promoters, we take our obligations and duties very seriously, and a full investigation and a full juice investigation will now need to take place. We will be making no further comment at this time, and news for ticket holder refunds will follow. We'll be making no further comment. Listen, you'll be doing as you're told. How about that? Yeah? If we want more comments, we'll get more comments, you clowns. Don't piss me off. You know what I mean? Let's not forget, people. Mr. Calla Snifferland and Eddie, I've got a moody motor to sell you, Hearn. Them two cats, you can't not see them in the video. They love the video. Yeah? All in the video. Now all of a sudden, oh, we ain't making no more comment. Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah? Who's got the odds on Eddie Hearn going missing for a week? I ain't gonna lie, I feel it's gonna be one of them ones. When was it? I'm not sure. It might have been after Canelo lost. Either way, Eddie Hearn went missing, man. Eddie Hearn disappeared off the map. Ain't no one see him. I got a feeling a week from now there'll be no videos. Yeah, which is obviously unparalleled. We never don't hear from Eddie for a week. I've got a good feeling we ain't going to hear nothing from Eddie for at least a week. It might even be a month. You might just drop off completely. Yeah? Anyway, you heard the leaks there. Let's go back to Mr. Conor Benn. Listen, Mr. Conor Benn. No details in here. I've been campaigning for a while since this whole thing happened. If Conor Benn's innocent, he needs to be putting a dossier together. That's what I'll be doing. If I was managing Conor Benn right now, yeah. To be quite frank, it's been like nearly 2 days. Someone on Conor Benn's team should be putting together the information, the logical information, that proves his innocence. Not proves, but you know what I mean? That, in the day, someone on Conor Benn's team who cares about him should be drafting, if not completed by now an outline of circumstantial evidence that backs him up. Like I said, something along the lines of the test in question was September 1st. We passed the test from VADA on August 25th. We passed a test on UCAD on September 4th. This test clearly is erroneous because the chemical in question has a half-life of 1 week. Therefore, why didn't it show up on the test a week before? Why did it show up on a test after, if we were in cycle, as is being claimed? That's just a rough outline I did in 2 minutes. That's if you're innocent. If you're not innocent, you best keep doing what you're doing. No comment. Speak to the lawyers. Oh man, I can't speak and it's my lawyers, and yeah, that's what you best do. If you're guilty, you best lawyer up and say nothing. If you're innocent, someone on your team should be putting out a circumstantial dossier together for the public and to drop it. Yeah? List all the points that show how you know you're clean. Yeah? List all the inconsistencies that expose this dodgy test. Because so far, all we've heard is big round statements like, oh, I've never popped before, oh, I didn't fail any UCAD tests. We want the dates. Because, for example, if the test you failed was September 1st, but the UCAD test wasn't until October 1st, that don't mean nothing, does it? It's no good saying, oh, I didn't fail any UCAD tests. The dates is what fill that gap. And I wonder what these management, I wonder what these PR teams are actually for. They get paid all this money here to manage and to protect people's public profile, and yet it's 2 days after the crisis, and the public's, for the most part, because of a lack of information, think Conor Benn's guilty. And he may well be guilty. That may be why there is no circumstantial evidence supporting him. But for me personally, the fact Conor Benn signed a fight in the middle of August, for his test to come up dirty in September, I don't believe he can be that stupid to be on cycle after he signed the fight, knowing he signed up to VADA. Yes, we know Jarrell Miller, but Jarrell Miller's a rare case. Although Jarrell Miller may signify the mental illness evident in people, because Jarrell Miller knew he was being randomly VADA tested, and still he was full to the brim of UFO, speculative. No, it wasn't speculative. Jarrell Miller was caught filled to the gills with experimental chemicals from China. Facts. Yeah? Not just one, about 6 different chemicals. All of them maxed out, not trace elements. He was fooled. He was found maxed out. Apparently, they couldn't even get any blood out. Just pure green goo he had in there. 100%. Yeah? The people who were working with Jarrell Miller told me it wasn't even factual to call it a blood test, because they weren't testing for blood. Yeah? Whatever they took out of Jarrell Miller's arms, it was called a juice test, because there weren't no blood plasma in there. It was all juice and a bit of blood. 100%. Yeah? Do you want some blood with that? No doubt about it. Juicy have an arse. So yeah, maybe these fighters are so insecure they have to be juiced like Jarrell Miller was. All Jarrell Miller had to do was turn up. And the worst thing was, AJ was pants that night. All Jarrell Miller had to turn up, and really, he would have had a 50-50 fight with AJ and get paid $10 million. His life solved. Win, lose or draw. But he was such a juice fiend, he couldn't help himself. His wife left him, and rightfully so. Now I'd like to think, especially the fact that Conor Benn knew about Jarrell Miller, you'd like to think no one can be that stupid. But Jarrell Miller was. I'd like to think Conor Benn's team ain't that. Me personally, I just can't imagine it. I can't imagine anyone would do that, knowing you're being randomly tested. But people do it, innit? People do it. And in all fairness, he didn't actually pop until the start of September. Which means the fight didn't get signed until mid-August. But then again, they were negotiating for like 3 months. So why, when you're negotiating for 2-3 months, why would you be on a cycle knowing VADA testing is about to start any day? It doesn't make sense, does it? You know, wait there a minute, the Chris Eubank fight's likely to happen. I better not do a cycle. Don't forget, people, he only just fought Chris Van Heerden in April, May. Pretty much straight after that, they were negotiating. The fight was signed in the middle of August. Negotiations started in the middle of June. So I don't know what to believe, but at this point in time, it's hard not to agree with the haters as such. Because Conor Benn's team have done nothing really to quell the allegations. They've done nothing. They should be out here right now putting out all the circumstantial evidence that supports their case. If they lawyer up and don't say anything, really, which is what they've been doing, it's a bad look. A super duper bad look. Now, as far as the fight goes being cancelled, I'm pissed off. I think the fight should have continued. It's not popular opinion, but what I'll say to you, man, who are all acting like brand new virgins, yeah? Listen, all you brand new virgin acting asses. All of you, man, would have watched it. Be honest now. If that fight was to continue, all you grandstanders, oh yeah, it's great for the sport, it's cancelled, cut the cap. Because all of you, man, would have been locked in and watching it. So stop capping. Now, for you individuals who genuinely, because of this, wouldn't have paid to watch it, fair play to you. You, man, can, you know what I mean? You, man, can have something to say about it. But for all you other goobers who are out here saying, oh, that's disgraceful, YB, how can you want this fight to continue? All you, man, who are saying that, but would have equally watched it as well, you're just waffling. You're just trying to sound like you've got some high moral high ground. I know who I am, yeah? And I would have watched the fight. That's why I want it to happen. I ain't gonna lie to no one. I'm not going to be that guy who comes on here and says, oh yeah, the fight should have happened. But at the same time, if it had happened, you'd have been watching it. What's the point in that? If you're that principled, you wouldn't watch the fight. So cut the cap. And I reckon 99.9% of people, all the ones who are kicking up a fuss, oh, Eddie Hearn's making a mockery of the sport, if this fight was to continue, all the people, 99.9% of people, you'd have been locked in on Saturday. Yeah? Secretly. Yeah, on Twitter, you'd be saying, yeah, I'm not watching the fight. I'm not paying $30 for that. And more time, on the sly, you'd have been sitting there, banging your remote control, trying to get the pay-per-view in quick. That's what you'd have been doing. Yeah? Bottom line. I'm sick of fights being cancelled for bullshit. This for me is bullshit. Yeah? It's well defined, it's well known. Conor Benn, even if he was juiced, it served no functional benefit to him. So the question is, why are we cancelling fights over things that serve no benefit? Do you understand? He ain't getting no benefit from it. So someone explain to me how you cancel something when there's been no benefit. People forget that these lists now have become so expansive. It's ridiculous. Yeah? We're not talking about even steroid here. This is some derivative of a derivative. It's ridiculous. Serves no benefit whatsoever. Especially in the amounts it was found. So you're pulling a fight because a substance that serves little benefit was found in tiny, trace, non-beneficial amounts. Nah, man, that don't work for me. If that's the case, if we're going to start pulling fights, yeah, if we're going to start pulling sporting events because a tiny amount of a non-beneficial substance was found, You might as well let's just pull all sport then. Let's just not bother. And let's just all sit around grandstanding about how moral we all are. Oh, I'm so moral. Everyone sucked me off. Everyone sucked me off because I'm so moral and I'm standing on a moral high ground. Oh yeah, sport shouldn't happen. And like I said in my last video, all you man grandstanding, sports back in the 90s, none of them would have happened based on these standards today. Do you understand? 99% of fighters had a lot more than a few trace elements of some bullshit substance that isn't even a steroid. Non-steroidal chemicals don't do shit for no one, bottom line. Yeah? They just don't. The efficiency of non-steroidal shit is useless. Honestly, it's as good as useless. If you take something that's non-steroidal, you won't even notice the difference. Yeah? Not even a bit. And yet here we are. Anyway, I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of hating ass dudes in the comment section. You might know what to do already. Lick off the like button, 100%. Subscribe. And me too the bell. No doubt about it.